What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Zebec today, ZBCN. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, okay? It is the 7th day of September, and here we are at about $0.037 right now. I forget if it was yesterday or the day before, but I feel like I was calling for a move up to 0.004 or 0.041. I just can't remember what day it was. If it was yesterday, oh well, I was wrong. But I know that I know that overall we've been calling for lower prices, right? We've definitely been here. We called for the bounce to go up to here. Here, since then we've been calling for prices to go lower down to like 0.033, 0.003 itself, somewhere in that range, right? If we take out our low to high here, not the fake out high, but low to high right there of this move, the golden ratio is right there at 0.033 0033 to 00309. So right in that area, that's where I expect we're going to go. This kind of reaction where you're finding support off the 0.5, resistance off the 382, very common when working your way down to the golden ratio, and that'll give you a nice little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-legged pattern down. Looking at this on a short-term time frame, looking at the 1-hour time frame here, and then busting out the other indicators. You have rejected the 50 on the RSI. That's not good. That's not a bullish thing at all. You looked like you wanted to go higher, but rejected there. Stochastics rejecting the 50 as well. You found support at the oversold zone. I would have, maybe it was yesterday that I was bullish because that looked kind of bullish right there, but you gave up your bullish look and subbed it out for a bearish look. Looking at the MACD here, MACD still looks like it's bearish overall, but I mean you could come up. My only conniption here is that you've had a lot of green, you've had a lot of bullish momentum, quote unquote, building. You just, what have you done with that? You haven't done anything with that, man. A day's worth of momentum just wasted, because you're probably going to go lower. Looking at the 4-hour time frame here, there is a scenario where, again, this could be the low. Remember, we've been saying that throughout this whole time too. It's very possible this could be the low, or maybe we find some kind of double bottom. Double bottoms can be precise. You can have a slightly higher low. You could have a slightly lower low. Something like that. Or maybe it's not a double bottom at all, and you do go lower. We'll see. But with that in mind, taking this from a low to high here based off of these fibs, the 1272 is at 0033, again 00335 to 0031, which is pretty close to 00309. The MACD on the 4-hour does look bearish. You're in that bearish kind of control zone, rejecting the zero, bearish momentum building. I would think, and here it's not building, here it's actually decaying, but it's still bearish as far as like being crossed to the downside goes. If we're looking at this here, I would think that you do something like this where you decay in bearish momentum, but you build bearish momentum as you're decaying. So we're probably going to come down a little bit more is all I'm trying to say by that. I would think that we do come down a little bit more. The RSI looks like it wants to come down, rejecting the overbought zone, no problem getting oversold any of these times. And then the stochastics are just terrible. So lower we go. The fact that we've gotten below the golden ratio too, we've grinded it out like this, really ups the chances that we do see these extensions come into play. But this is a bit of a more refined range. It's basically the same range as before, but it's a little bit more refined, a little bit tighter technically. Barely, but still. And that's where I would expect we go. Hold on. Oh man. Looking at this here. Daily stochastics look like they want to come down. Bearish, right? You got out of the oversold zone just to get back into them. That's bearish. The MACD, again, the idea here is that you have been building bearish momentum for a long time, but if you can come down, build another little bit of red, and get those higher lows, get that double bullish divergence in place, I think that would be okay. I think that'd be a good look. Your daily MACD, the oscillators might come down a little bit more. You might get a double bottom with double bullish divergence on the histogram. I think that'd be a perfect image of where to find a low, and you probably get all that at 0033 to 0031, somewhere in that area there. Yep. No bullish divergence yet on the stochastics or the RSI, but I feel like by the end of this we're probably going to have that. You are in a downtrend with the RSI, lower lows, lower highs. I think you're going to get into the oversold zone. This is kind of that final plunge, and that'll correlate well with, I think, the rest of the crypto markets as well, right? It's Sunday. It's the end of the week. We've got 9 hours left in this week. We're about to open up a new week. This next week, I expect we will find our low, and then going into that week of the 16th to the 17th, we should be moving back up after the FOMC meeting. And I think when this thing moves up, you'll see a nice kind of move like this, maybe consolidate, right? So imagine we come down here, we find support, we get a nice bounce, right? Here's the 16th right there on this day. 16th, 17th, we get a nice bounce, probably consolidate a little bit, continue to rally, right? Consolidate a little bit by the end of the month. We're probably near these highs, but not at new all-time highs. And then going into October, maybe we dip down a little bit first, and then we continue to rally here. I think that the real move, the real big move, is going to happen either at the end of September or at the end of October, but it's going to happen when we break above this high here. And whenever I say the real move, these are real moves. That's a real move up. That's a real move down. These are real moves, but I just mean like the real big move. Movements like this are going to happen again once we get above this point here. Okay, that's the expectation, and that's at about 0.006. Yeah. All in all, we're expecting ZBCN to go to 0.02. Sorry, to about 2 cents to 4.5 cents by the end of October, and significantly higher prices than that by the end of the year. You got a lot of potential in you here. I think that you're just in a bullish phase of consolidation overall. Looking at this on a weekly time frame, very bullish phase of consolidation, waiting to move up, break out, and continue this next leg up, right? Here was your accumulation. Here was your first leg up. I think that you're going to have 2 more legs up just like that. 1 leg up here, consolidate. 1 leg up here, consolidate. 1 leg up here. That might be all she wrote, you guys. That might be the end of the cycle. And where will it take you? I don't know. You know, from the current price, I could see us doing 100x. I could see us doing a 50x or anything and everything in between. Maybe we only get a 30x. I don't know, but I would expect it to outperform the average altcoin. And my genuine expectation would be that ZBCN, if it doesn't see 100x, it's going to see something pretty damn impressive. You know, I don't think we stop anything less than like 20 cents personally, but we'll see. Time will tell. And again, running with this idea of one phase up, second phase is consolidating. Running with this idea of like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-legged move, right? Running with that idea. This would be our second leg here, right? Our second leg here, consolidating. We're going to move up again right here. That's what we're predicting to go to 2 to 4.5 cents, somewhere in that area, right? Up in this area. And then we consolidate again. The fourth leg, 1, 2, 3, 4. The fourth leg, which will be the consolidation phase after we hit 2 cents to 4.5 cents. Typically, the fourth leg is the shortest leg. So that consolidation phase should be a lot shorter than this as far as time goes and as far as distance goes. It'll be a lot smaller. And that fifth leg, the last leg, it's typically the largest move or the second largest move, right? It's one of those two, typically. Not always. Sometimes the first leg is the largest move, but typically the first leg is the shortest move, actually. But with this kind of immaculate accumulation here, maybe that does set you up for a very big move. But time will tell. We'll see how it goes. All in all, I'm just expecting that we'll have another 2 run-ups just like that, if not bigger, coming in between now and the end of the cycle. Okay, if not more. Maybe you have more. Sometimes that fifth leg, right, you get 1, 2, you consolidate again, right, and then you get that fifth leg. Sometimes that fifth leg has 5 legs inside of it as well, you know, or 3 legs inside of it, I think actually is what it is. It's called an extended zigzag or extended impulsive wave. I forget. Impulsive wave with extension. I forget what it is. Do we have that here? Doesn't say it here, but I feel like it's something like that. And in which case the fifth leg itself has multiple waves as well. But anyways, I got nothing else for you guys. I'm just rambling at this point. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I very much do expect great things are coming for ZBCN. We just have a little lower to go first. All right, take care. Bye-bye.